And here we are back with another one. This your boy Calvin Pierce, TSC Sports. Hey, my main man over here, I believe to my left, to y'all right, George. Hey, salute him one time, George.
Shout out, what's going on, fellas? What's up with you,
And,
KB?
and without further
What's
ado,
up with it, my guy?
we got our main man, one of the Southeast, one of San Diego's legends. Talk to him one time, KB.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Man, we just want to get on here and talk to KB. He got a lot going on. He worked with the youth throughout San Diego. If you don't know who KB is, hey, KB is one of the pioneers in the city. He runs FastCamp. Tell us a little bit about FastCamp and what the mission, what you guys' mission is.
Fast Camp, we started off, very, very small. I'm going to give you the founders. A lot of people don't know. The founders of Fast Camp, the first ones that were to join were Asante Hartzog, Dejan Mishak, and Marion Mishak, and also little Tank. Our mission is just pretty much to develop the kids, give them an experience that they can get outside of the city, show them new things, teach them to be better men, better athletes, and just better human beings overall. That's been our entire mission, our entire goal. As far as winning, we like to win, but we like to win by making them into being great men. That's our biggest win, other than all the trophies and so forth.
Right, you guys coming off a great weekend out there. Where you guys was out in Phoenix this past weekend, huh? Tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
that experience with some of the guys that came back and some of the newcomers. Tell us about some of the experiences.
Um, Overall, well, this year we was there. Our 12U team was able to bring home the championship. They went 6-0. I think right now they have us ranked currently 3 overall in the nation. But every team we had a couple teams make it to the championship. A few made it to semis and a few made to quarterfinals. So I think overall it was a good experience and it was a good display for San Diego football.
And when you talk about San Diego football, I know we got Charles and those guys on here from Terrasana. And one thing I like about you as well, y'all ain't running from no smoke. Y'all ain't afraid of no smoke. Y'all ain't ducking and dodging no North County, no North Cali guys. Y'all ain't ducking no LA smoke. Y'all, I saw what y'all what is the high school level? Y'all got to play some top talent from the LA region, right?
Yeah, we ended up losing to L-Star by 1 point. It was a good game. They flew guys in from Florida, Georgia, all across the country to play. And, we got just local San Diego talent. And we beat them the first day, and then they came back and beat us in the playoffs by 1 point. But we gave them their only loss. Right now, they're ranked number 1 in the nation. But like I mentioned, just our local San Diego talent gave them their only defeat.
And talk a little bit of my bad. Go, George.
Question for you. Can you describe to the viewers what do you mean as far as the football that you guys are competing in right now, so they won't confuse it with what's going on,
Tackle.
whether it's Pop Warner or
Yeah,
tackler. Exactly.
absolutely right. Absolutely. Right now, we're playing 7-on-7 football. It's pretty much the new wave of AAU basketball. 7-on-7 started off small. I remember when I first did it, I had one team, and we would go to these tournaments with 6 or 7 teams. This last tournament we went to, they had over 180 teams. So it's 7-on-7, 2-hand touch. Pretty much, every NFL period, NFL team and college team, they all do a 7-on-7 period. So now they brought it to the club circuit, and like I say, it's pretty similar to the AAU basketball.
And spring back to what you were saying. You guys knocked off was one of the only teams to knock off one of the top tier teams throughout the whole nation. What kind of momentum and confidence does that give your team going forward?
It gives our boys a lot of confidence. Like I said, the second day they got us by 1 point, but it was a hard fought game, and the boys know that they can compete with anybody. Like you mentioned, we don't turn down no smoke. We try to go to all the top tournaments. We want to, win or lose, we want to give our boys an opportunity to face the best talent across the nation, and that's why we also travel. We don't just do San Diego tournaments or just LA tournaments. We travel to Texas and things of that nature, Denver, to try to get them to see different faces and different talent.
And what does it take to get? How many teams are you guys traveling any given time?
Like I mentioned, so for at the last tournament, we traveled with 10 teams. This upcoming tournament up in Santa Ana, we'll have 11 teams. So we're still growing. I think by the end of the year, we'll probably end up having 12 to 13 teams.
And what does it take as far as the financial backing to be able to do something of that sort?
It takes a lot. We do fundraise. I come out of pocket. Some of the coaches, we do come out of pocket to help kids and get there. And we just kind of come together as a family, as a whole organization, to make sure everybody's taken care of and everybody's able to make the trip and be able to experience everything as a whole.
And when you say, I'm gonna bounce back to some of the earlier things you were saying about the homegrown. Like you just said, you guys do some of the fundraising just to get some of our local kids. We don't have the sponsorship backing of some sorts to fly in kids from Florida and Vegas and all of that. Talk about the difference between a homegrown team and some of these like national, or what we're calling the Madden, created team. A created team, essentially, that's what it is.
Yeah. I like, because I'm from Dago. I like all cities and respect all cities, but I like to bring, I'd rather have an all local San Diego team as opposed to trying to fly in guys from Florida and Georgia and whatnot. Like I said, I'm born and raised in Dago, so everything I do, I'm trying to rep San Diego as a whole.
And speak to, from what I know, I've been out here on the different circuits. They people ain't slouching on FastCamp now. You guys do get you guys do get the respect that you have earned. Respect isn't given. You guys have definitely earned it over the years that you guys been hitting the circuit. Do you feel that same way? You feel like you get respect out there?
I do. Like I say, everyone, I'll walk past teams and you hear people whisper, "Oh, that's FastCamp. That's FastCamp." So like I say, because we've knocked off some of the top teams over the past few years. San Diego doesn't get a lot of respect as a whole at all. They always downplay our talent down here. And that's why I like to try to keep our team all San Diego to show them that San Diego has some of the best talent in the nation. We've knocked off teams that have all these 4 or 5 stars on them. And some of our kids would be 2 and 3 stars, but they have go against teams that have 50 plus offers, and we go out there and we knock them off. And I think that's due to the talent that we have here in San Diego, as well as coaching. A lot of teams just get a lot of good players, but they don't teach them technique. We're out there actually trying to develop them, teach them technique, teach them the right coverages and the right depth of routes, giving the quarterbacks the proper reads and so forth.
And talk a little bit about when you guys are knocking some of these top tiers off. I see just all across the board. I would call it the LeBron James effect, going back to the Mikey Williams era in his 7th grade. Mikey Williams knocked off Bronny James, and then they like powwow and want to tap him on the shoulder, come join us. Do you guys ever experience that type on the 7-on-7 circuits?
Man, we get it every year. We knock off a team. I mean, I've had 3 or 4 kids already tell me that other organizations have, hit them up, for them to come play for them. Every year it happens. We come out there. We don't look like a team that's going to come out there and dominate. We dominate. Next thing you know, these guys that have this big sponsorship behind them, they're trying to lure our kids in to come play for them for free and offering them this and offering them that just so they can try to tear apart our San Diego bond.
And how are some of these bigger, I don't even want to call them bigger, how are some of the other circuit teams getting these sponsors? Is it through clothing lines, through former NFL guys? Are they just trying to find their way, kind of like similar, like you mentioned, to the AAU style of basketball, the sponsorships?
Yeah, there's a few clothing lines out here that are sponsoring these teams, and then most of them they just end up coming across a millionaire or billionaire that's just looking to give back, and that's how they're getting these sponsorships. If I had these sponsorships, I would still keep it San Diego. We would just travel a little bit more. I would still keep my San Diego talent. We would just travel, to different places. We go to 2 or 3 out of state tournaments a year. If we had sponsorship, I would love to go to 4 or 5 out of state tournaments.
And just in case, I don't know, this podcast is open to the public and anyone can share. If we do got that millionaire or billionaire that need off X amount of money, what kind of pitch would you give them? We all open for FastCamp to land one of those sponsorships.
Yeah, I mean, just let them know, everything we do is, basically all about the kids. It's never about me or any of the coaching staff. Everything we do is about the kids and the community. All we want to do is give them a platform to be able to see new things, experience new things, and to, like I say, get better overall.
And one thing that really stuck out to me is y'all still preaching and teaching technique. A lot of programs out there are not teaching technique, and I see that not just in football and basketball. I mean, a lot of people, and if you don't know, I'm behind a camera a lot of times with TSC, but I see a lot of footage from the Pop Warner level to the high school level, even to the NFL, and I'm seeing technique is kind of, I don't know why, but it's kind of like it's lost right now, and a lot of people aren't. I feel like they just need to get back to the roots and bring all the technique and fundamentals back to the game.
I agree. Like I said, a lot of these guys, they're just going out here and trying to pick the best players possible. We get who we get. We don't go out there and handpick players. We get who we get, and we just develop them and make them better. I'm real big on technique, especially, I coach and train a lot of DBs, and a lot of these teams, they're out there just holding every play. There's no technique. There's no peer step. There's no kick step. There's no proper hand placement. They're just out there just holding and grabbing jerseys the whole time. So I mean, technique has definitely went away. So that's what we try to instill into these kids. That way, when they go back to their respective school or in a program, that they know technique.
Right.
Kevin, I got one for you, Kevin.
Okay.
What are some of the benefits of playing 7-on-7 right now? Because, like you said, this sport is getting really popular. The 7-on-7 brand is getting really popular. What are some of the benefits from the youth level all the way through the high school level?
Some of the benefits is, pretty much for the skilled players. Let me put my AirPod on. You there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. The benefits is, they get an opportunity to, like I said, learn technique, play different coverages, go against top tier talent. For the linemen, they have their own thing, but for the skilled players, it's a good way for them to compete against other guys, see different talent, and like I said, learn from their mistakes or learn more than they did the previous year.
So what about the high schoolers? Are any colleges coming out and looking at some of these 7-on-7 games? And
well, they're not supposed to, but colleges are there. They'll be in, they won't be wearing their logos or anything like that. But I've seen a lot of different colleges at these 7-on-7 tournaments. Like I said, they're dressed in regular clothes. And then they have 247 Sports and Rivals, these big media companies. They're out there, so they're doing write-ups and UTRs out there. And they're making videos. It's helping a lot of kids get a lot of exposure.
as far as
in
ranking?
particular, Keely Smith Jr. Say it
Okay.
again? Yeah, as far as rankings. Because a kid could be a 0-star, and then they're out there on the circuit going against a 5-star receiver, and they shut him down. So now they're gonna be like, okay, he was a 0-star. He'll end up leaving that tournament as a 3-star only because he went against a 5-star, was able to shut him down.
That's great. Now, what was you saying about Keely Smith Jr.? Sorry to cut you off.
I think his phone might be ringing. We dealt with this last week. Nah, but you back?
Oh,
Your
there you
phone
go.
might
Right
have
there,
been
he's
ringing.
back.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Far
So
Keith
Tell us.
Smith
yeah.
Jr.
So I mean, that's. Go ahead.
You said something about Keith Smith Jr. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, okay. No worries. Yeah, like Keith Smith Jr. He hit the circuit last year, and now he's a 4-star. A
Right.
lot of people didn't believe in him and whatnot, but once they saw how the ball popped off his hand and how he was connecting with the receivers, they got an opportunity to see him up live and personal, and he ended up, after the circuit, ended up being a 4-star.
And talk a
Yeah,
little
he's a
bit about.
phenomenal talent.
Talk a little bit about. I
Yes.
know to my knowledge, I think I reached out to his dad recently. I think he'll be running with Raw Rare. What? How you say it? Is it Raw
Raw.
next
Yeah, Raw.
Raw
Yeah, Team
next
Raw.
week? Team Raw next
Yeah.
week out in Miami. I'll actually be out that way myself, battle Miami. And when you get to play against some of those Bosco and some of those top teams down in Atlanta and Florida, and like you said, when all those different media outlets are there, and he's able to get. I remember Julian Sand last year got MVP, to my knowledge, of the Battle Miami. So if he's able to do it on that same team, Raw, Miami, man, that 5-star or whatever, his the ceiling can only go higher for him.
Exactly. And that's the thing. He's pretty much taken Julian Sands' spot. So that's back-to-back years that a San Diego athlete has been picked to play for that team, to get an opportunity to be in front of these big media outlets and really showcase their full capabilities.
And
So,
talk a little
question
bit.
for you, Kevin. Oh, go ahead.
My,
Go ahead.
my,
Kevin.
my bad.
No, go ahead.
I was going to double back. I wanted him to talk a little bit about that phenomenal job his 12U team did out in Arizona.
They went out there and played their hearts out. That's a special group of kids. They all understand that it's a team sport. There's no egos amongst them. They all cheer each other on when one person's doing this and doing that, and they just collectively decided, hey, we're gonna come out here, we're gonna play our hardest, and they came out with the championship, going undefeated.
Yes, sir. That's excellent. Go, George.
I'm out here with the MVP right now. Here, come here, Austin.
Austin.
Yeah, Austin's out here right
What's
now.
good, Austin? He's a grinder. He out there working in the lab. He in the lab about to work some work. He about to get some of that lab work in, Coach.
Yeah, yes, Coach.
Hey, oh, you can hear us, Austin?
Huh?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Hey, tell us a little bit about that performance out there in Arizona. We know you brought that MVP trophy back to San Diego. I know I had some of my team out there videoing. You had some phenomenal video. Talk a little bit about that experience in Arizona.
It was a great experience. It took a lot of hard work to do that. It was a team effort. I stayed locked in during the off season for that moment, and it just felt really great to be MVP.
And if you was able to give some shout outs to your teammates and mom them, give some quick shout outs to the people that push you, some of the ones behind the scenes, some of your teammates that are in the lab with you that just want to see you get better and better week in and week out.
KB, he always pushes me to the best of my ability. Noel Phillips. He always trains me hard because he knows that I can be great. I definitely give a shout out to my dad and my mom for always giving me great opportunities to come out here and put the work in, and taking me out to all those tournaments and stuff.
Yes, sir. And we're looking forward to doing more coverage with you and seeing nothing but more great content and more everything that you doing, like you said, putting in behind the scenes is surely showing on the field week in and week out. And I look forward to seeing the footage every week. I just want to say I salute you and keep up the phenomenal work, young man.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, he one of them pit bulls, man. He a dog.
He is. He is. I say his mindset. His mind state is much different than kids his age. He has a lot of confidence, a lot of drive, and he just he doesn't go half ass and nothing. Everything he does, he goes 110%. He will definitely give you his all.
It's great to hear. A question for you. I know putting it down in the North County with the 707 and the Fast Camp and all the great accomplishments that you accomplished out there. What can we do to bring this down to our community? Where we locally from.
Um, like I said, I mean, I've been trying to team up with a couple of organizations down there year in year out. That's where I'm from. So there are a few guys from San Diego that do come up and still play with me. Um, like I said, if anybody were to ever call me and say, "Hey, let's partner up and put together this monster team," I'm always down for that. I said I don't have an ego. The team doesn't even have to be named Fast Camp. We can name it San Diego something else. San Diego just has way too many egos, in my
Right.
opinion. Everybody wants to be the man as opposed to coming together. When I was raised, I mean, to me, we're stronger in numbers. We already get the short end of the stick from other organizations and other cities, and they kind of laugh at us because we don't come together. And then some of our kids are quick to go run and play with LA and whatnot instead of staying home and building San Diego up as a whole. But as far as
That's
San Diego, yeah, I mean, I said I'm willing to partner with anybody in San Diego. Like I said, make a couple of monster teams, go out to these big time tournaments, and show them that San Diego has better talent than pretty much everybody else.
I
It's
believe you. I believe you there. And the thing about it is when you talk about Eagles, man, the sad thing is, you're a couple years maybe older than me, and I watched you play and Valencia Park, right?
Yeah. To
Yeah,
BP and
and I
Lincoln.
remember you coming up. And the thing about it, I played for Balboa. We knew who the players were on the team, and
Right.
everybody on the team rooted for one another. It wasn't this stuff that I see going on now, and it's kind of upsetting because the kids don't really get a chance to be a kid. The kid is already put on this pedestal out here. It's like you're this, you're that, and there's nothing else. But as well as I know, there's level to the game. Little Johnny is not probably going to be as good as this guy over here, and you can't hold him to that same caliber. But doing this coaching and stuff, now people want to take the kids off the team, take them over here, take them over there, instead of just trusting the process.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it definitely isn't like when we were growing up. There's no loyalty these days, and like I said, uh, a lot of ego, a lot of ego. A lot of these coaches they want to try to control these certain players. And I tell a player, if you want to go play for another organization, that's fine. I tell each player, go where you are going to get developed. Don't listen to the recruiting part. Go where they're going to teach you some stuff and get developed. If we're not developing you over here and there's someplace else that's better, then go ahead. But a lot of these coaches don't have that mind state. They want to hold these kids and hold them hostage and force them to play for certain teams and tell them if you don't play for us, then we're going to do this. And that is, to me, that's not right. Every kid should be able to do whatever they want to do, especially in the off season. They should be able to train with who they want to train with, play with who they want to play with, and just be able to live their life as a kid as opposed to being held hostage to certain situations.
Right.
I kind of feel like some of the things you said, it feels like some of the rap culture is being brought into the sports and gangbanging culture as far as you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't support this kid. It's like that's my childhood buddy, but because he in high school and he runs 7 on 7 or run over there with this high school, I can't even share his post. Like I think that's beyond me. It's kind of sad that we have some coaches out there that will tell these kids these type of things, and it's
Yeah.
kind of sad that kids themselves will basically live under to those type of standards.
Right.
Because even in the basketball, if you look at a lot of the basketball players, not you can almost exclude Mikey, but you really can't. If you look at on the basketball side of AAU, that's where a majority of these kids' social media blow up on the circuit versus at their
Exactly.
home base school, because their home base school, they're not playing against competition like that night in and night out. So if like a little Keely, you go play in Miami, 150 teams there, from teams all the way from Los Angeles all the way into Florida, and you go put on your best performance. Like, most of those kids, they ain't got no choice but to put some respect on your name and respect you on social media. And that's how I feel like
Exactly.
a lot of these kids are able to gain the additional following. And with that additional following comes the NIL. A lot of these kids these days, I see, they may only have 2 posts. Like, how do you expect for any NIL company to entertain you, and you only have 2 posts on your whole Instagram, and you only have 1,000 followers, which is probably all of your childhood friends? So how can I, as a car dealer or a clothing line, expect for you to model or promote my product, and I see that you have no promoting skills in promoting yourself? So how do you guys teach your kids how to promote themselves?
Yeah, no, we tell each, we have, we talk to them about, I say, everything about social media, what to post, what not to post, and things of that nature. We kind of follow and kind of, monitor their social media. If we see something on there that shouldn't be there, we'll call them up and talk to the parents like, hey, you should take this down, and only put stuff up there that's positive, because these colleges and these recruiters, they're looking at all that. And like you mentioned, no one wants to give somebody an NIL deal that's posting a lot of negativity or things that just don't make any sense at all. So we try to keep it all sports related, all positive.
Right. And just like you said, you talk to them about those things, and where it's even so much important, even before the blow up, to not put those things out, because there's so many people that screen grabbing and taking a snapshot. We see it all the time. A guy that may be entering to the NFL draft this year, he may have said he may have said something on his social media, Twitter or X, 4 years ago, and they're going to hold you accountable. So
Yes, they will.
the young men, and parents, if you could take heed now, you may not deal with the repercussions later.
Right. And like I said, us, like I said, we're just more than just a regular organization. We do a lot of fundraisers, a lot of Christmas giveaways, shoe giveaway, toy giveaways. We do a lot of different stuff in the community, that a lot of these organizations aren't doing. They're just playing sports. But like I said, we're trying to do more, not just for us, but for the community as well.
And how are you guys able to check in with with the young man's with their mental health? How do your program take advantage of that? Because we know a lot of these kids go through various different things in school and at home. How are you guys able to check in on their mental health?
We always keep we build a good relationship with them first. In order for a kid to trust you, you have to build a relationship. Let them know that you really have their back, and then once they see that and feel that, we have an open door policy. If an individual or a kid has a problem, or they're going through anything, we tell them, pick up the phone, call us. We're not going to turn any kid down. We're here to help any kid in any facet that we can. So I said, they all have our telephone numbers. I get calls and messages from parents and kids on the regular, the kids that are going through some stuff. And, I'll, sit down with them and talk to them and try to help them through that hard time that they're going through. So we do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't post on social media, because, that's not for the public eye. We don't
Right.
want everybody to know if somebody's going through something, but we do a lot behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got something, George?
No, that's pretty much it, man. I really think you're doing a good job out there, man, and appreciate all the work that you're giving to these little youngsters out there, and helping them, with their vision and dreams. And you're doing a good job, man. I've been hearing about you for years now, and that camp you got doing up there up north, man, is really impressive to
Appreciate
hear,
you.
especially knowing you personally, and then hearing all the good work you put in. And that's what another thing that we need to do is give the flowers to the people that need their flowers, and you deserve it, brother.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
Appreciate you,
Y-
both of you.
Yes, sir. And like he said, I just want to tip my hat. I want to salute you. I've been knowing you for some years now. And ever since we met at probably some camps like 6 or 7 years ago, I have nothing but major respect for what you do. Like you said, you coaching and you teaching the X and O's. You getting these kids, you getting them right. you showing them the right ropes, and everything you was able to tell us here today, that some of the information we may have didn't know about what you do with your program. I really respect and honor you for everything that you do with those guys up that way.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
All right, my guy. We appreciate you for joining us today. Peace out.
Okay, fellas. Bye. Peace.
Peace.